There we go. Hello, everyone. This is Gene, and I'm back with the third, I think, video of the day. So, I'm covering something that I think many other people have already touched upon, but I just wanted to give my opinion. I'm a little behind on it because I've been doing other things, working on other videos and projects. So, about a week or so ago, the Hollywood Reporter released this very long, puff piece of an interview. This thing is painfully long with Cathy Yan, who is the director of the Birds of Prey film, which underperformed at the box office, and many people, especially those who were never in favor of the film in the first place, called a flop. So there's two parts I'm going to be addressing. One is this long quote where she talks about the expectations put upon her, that's the part sort of everybody's been sort of giving their own take on, so I'm going to address that. And then there's going to be another part which to me demonstrates that she had no idea who these characters were. So here's the first part, right? It says here from the Hollywood Reporter article, I know that, and this is Cathy Yan talking, I know that the studio had really high expectations for the movie. Excuse me. As we all did. There were also undue expectations on a female-led movie, and what I was most disappointed in was this idea that perhaps it proved that we weren't ready for this yet, Yan tells the Hollywood Reporter. That there was an extra burden that, as a woman of color director, I already had on me anyway. So yes, I think there were certainly different ways you could interpret the success or lack of success of the movie, and everyone has a right to do that. But I definitely do feel that everyone was pretty quick to jump on a certain angle. Here's my response to Cathy Yan with that. If I actually could sing, I would start singing Cry Baby right now. Or perhaps Cry Me a River. I don't know if it would be the Justin Timberlake song or the old jazz standard, but still, Cry Me a River, Cathy Yan. Cry, 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 cry me all the rivers. Okay, to my knowledge, there were no undue expectations on her because she's a woman of color director. We already know women can make movies fine and well. There was Wonder Woman in 2017. And now it's coming back again with Wonder Woman 1984, whenever that gets released. And we know that Asian people can be good directors too and be successful in Hollywood because you had films like Crazy Rich Asians. You can even take it all the way back to the 1990s with the Joy Luck Club. And then, of course, there was recently, wasn't there a film from a Korean director called Parasite? Right? So we know Asian directors can do well in Hollywood. We know that female directors can do just fine in Hollywood. And I don't know, I just feel personally insulted, and I can't explain why I do, because I'm not the same POC as she is, although I feel that I should remind her that Asians are quickly losing their place in the progressive stack because they are not as, I guess you could say historically, I don't want to say disadvantaged, but like, they're basically too rich at this point. That's the best way to put it. Right? On the whole, as a collective group, to really be on the progressive stack. So they're actually losing their place on the stack. Right? Soon, from the progressive point of view, they're going to lose their minority status and be seen as white people light. Is basically the way I see this going. For those who believe in the identity politics, I guess you could say, right? The upward mobility of Asians, collectively speaking, is causing them to lose their place on the oppression meter. So good for y'all. But anyway, we know that Asian people can make movies and can lead films and all this other stuff. So for her to try to sort of hide behind the identity politics of being an Asian woman is just really insulting to me. And then just this idea that she says that, let me find it again in the, it says here, I was most disappointed, what I was most disappointed in was this idea that perhaps it proved that we weren't ready for this yet. Here's the thing, right? I don't script videos. I just get a half-formed thought in my head, and just go. But here's the thing that I want to emphasize, right? I can't speak for the rest of the world, but American media has long known that women can lead franchises and lead movies and be the star of the show. I have here a list, right, of various franchises of different types, from action to comedy and everything in between, right, that were about women, that were starring women. The lead or leads are female. And this goes into TV, cartoons, video games, multiple things. So, for whoever can hear me, I want to put to bed this stupid idea that somehow the American viewing audience is not ready for women in media. So anyway, some works, this is by no means an exhaustive list, but some works that had female leads. So in TV, we have The Golden Girls, Designing Women, Xena Warrior Princess, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Policewoman, Charlie's Angels, the 1970s Wonder Woman TV show, Relic Hunter, VIP, which starred Pamela Anderson, Sex and the City, Law and Order SVU, Cleopatra 2525. Then in cartoons, anime, TV shows, we have the entire dang Carmen Sandiego franchise, Cyber 6, Aeon Flux, Sailor Moon, and the whole shoujo genre in general. Alita Battle Angel, Ghost in the Shell, Appleseed. In movies, we have the Alien franchise, we have the Tomb Raider films, we have the Resident Evil films, we have Halloween, we have Underworld, we have Kill Bill, Terminator, the Wonder Woman film, the Black Widow film, the Captain Marvel film, Elektra, Catwoman, and again, Alita Battle Angel. And then in video games, we have Metroid, Tomb Raider, the Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, and then of course the several games that from Final Fantasy 13 and all those games, those lightning-centric games that were spun off. Resident Evil 3, Fear Effect, and there are many, many, many others. That's just the short list that I came up with literally off the top of my head a few days ago as I was prepping to make this and other videos. So can we please put to bed this falsehood that American audiences can't handle women on TV? Yes, they can. We've been doing it just fine since the late 70s, at the very least. And I just want this idea to just fall off a cliff into the watery deep. Can we please have that? Thank you very much. And then, so there's that, right? I'm tired of Cathy Yan and, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks and all these others. Whenever their movie fails or does not perform up to expectations, instead of just taking the L and accepting that, hey, they screwed up, they want to hide behind their gender or their ethnicity or whatever the heck they feel will apply. And here's the second part, because this thing is long as the livelong day, and it's a boring read. And there was one part toward the end that had my inner comic fan just screaming. So let me see here. So where is it? Okay, getting there. Here we go. So the Hollywood Reporter interviewer says, Huntress just might be the first socially awkward superhero. Oh God. I will not flip out. Although there's a little Beatrix Kiddo in her. There was nothing Kill Bill about. I'm gonna be calm. Was that the goal for the most part? And this is Cathy Yan's response. Yeah, absolutely. Again, it just came from character. What I wanted to avoid was just a badass. Don't worry, honey, she wasn't a badass. But anyway, by casting someone like Mary Elizabeth Winstead, that was very clear that we were not going to get just another cool badass assassin, because there was so much more to Huntress than that. Her backstory is probably the most obvious in the movie, and it's so clearly one of trauma. Don't all of them have backstories of trauma? But anyway, we had to keep adding these layers to these characters. And there's your problem. You already have layered, nuanced... Calm down, Jean. Calm down. They're not perfect. They're not just one word describable. Mary was able to bring such awkward charm to the role, and we talked a lot about that. Huntress has clearly never gone to prom. She's never had a first date. She's probably never even kissed a boy. Have you read the comics? Huntress has no problem having an active love life and social life. That was the... And then it says, she was raised by assassins in Sicily, and she watched her entire family get murdered. If you take that at face value, what does she become? That was much more interesting to me than saying she was a badass. First of all, that's not Huntress' backstory. Cathy Yan, have you ever read the comics? Huntress' backstory is that she's from a mafia family. Huntress certainly is not perfect. She can be unreliable. She can be uncontrollable. She doesn't always work well with others. She's sort of the wild card on the Birds of Prey because she's very much an anti-hero, whereas Canary and Oracle are much more strictly heroes, right? She can be hot-headed. She can be aggressive. She can be flat-out reckless at times, especially if she's in a low point with her religious faith, being that she at least is a believing Catholic. I don't think she's practicing, but I do think she believes. But Huntress is not this socially awkward character. She's fine socially. The problem is that she grew up in a mafia family and she witnessed her family be murdered. Cathy Yan, you took a very loose concept that sounds more like Cassie Kane in the comics, right? The girl who was born and raised to be an assassin, the daughter of Lady Shiva and David Kane, right? She's the one who would have never kissed a boy and never gone to prom because she was raised to be a cold-blooded killer who can read her opponent's body language. You have confused these two characters, which does not surprise me because the version of Cassie Kane you had in this film is Jubilee from the X-Men. They are not the same. You see, and stuff like this is exactly why I did not go see this film. Because, see, I had an opportunity to. I had an opportunity to go see this film. Because I went to see Sonic back in February. And so I stood in line for 15 minutes, staring at all the movies I could potentially see. Sonic, some other stuff that was airing at the time, and in particular, Birds of Prey. I passed on Birds of Prey. I stared at the poster, and I asked myself, do you want to go see this film? No. I had 15 minutes to mull on whether or not I should go see Sonic or whether or not I should go see Birds of Prey. And I chose Sonic. You know why? Because Sonic at least did not insult my intelligence. I didn't think it was a great film. I felt it was lacking as a movie, very by the numbers, but at the very least, I didn't feel like the film was insulting. I just didn't think it was all that great storytelling-wise. But here's the thing. At the very least, with the promotion of Sonic, everything that was promoted about it was positive and appealed to me. Right? They listened to the fans when they said that they wanted a new trailer, a different Sonic, one that actually looked like the damn character. And they came out with that amazing re-release of the trailer where they put in new music. They had Supersonic. Had a much more fun, joyous vibe. I loved it. Right? I loved it. All the marketing had been positive and therefore attractive to me. I'm not even a big Sonic fan, but at least I was like, hey, you know what? This looks like it might be fun. Again, ultimately, I found it a little lacking, but at least what they did to draw me in was positive. Birds of Prey, Cathy Yan. Didn't do that. And remember, you have to listen to me, Cathy, because as you can see, I am a woman of I am most definitely a woman of color. I am a brown person. I rank higher than you on the progressive scale, so you must listen to me. And here's what I have to say. Your movie pushed me away. Your movie took characters that I like Huntress and Cassandra Cain, and bastardized them. Your movie took the Birds of Prey, which I might have maybe been interested in seeing, and created this hodgepodge girl gang of characters who barely have any relation to each other according to the comics. Harley's not a member of the Birds of Prey. Cassie Cain's not a member of the Birds of Prey. Renee Montoya certainly isn't a member of the Birds of Prey. There is only two Birds of Prey in that film, and that's Huntress and Canary, and neither one of them are like themselves. You pushed me away, Cathy Yan. The advertising for this film pushed me away. The rating didn't help either because I'm not a big fan of R-rated films. But maybe if it had been good, maybe I would have considered seeing it even though it was R. But everything that was put out there, right, from the casting to the plot to the awful costumes that most of these people are wearing, I don't know where the hell you got or where the costume designer got Huntress' outfit, but dear God, no. Huntress doesn't dress like that. She's a stylish Italian woman. She doesn't dress like that. You had the 2011, you had the Rebirth 2011 costume that you could have went with, but no, you tried for this like 90s grunge thing while conveniently forgetting that even 90s alt and 90s grunge female artists had sex appeal. Or did you forget Courtney Love back when she was in Hole, or Shirley Manson, lead singer of Garbage? They were both very attractive women. Hell, Shirley still looks good. You and everybody working with you went out and did everything that they could, at least in my opinion, to make this film as repulsive as possible to anybody who actually gives a damn about the comic versions of these characters. You keep trying to hide behind this positive message of, oh, we were trying to represent the female experience. Unless a woman is terribly depressed, if she's trying to get over a man, she's not dressing down, she's dressing up. She's showing off that, look at what he lost, look at what he walked away from. She's looking to make him jealous. That's basically what a woman does. If she had a bad breakup and she's not depressed, she's actually angry and say, oh, no. She's dressing up because she wants to show him, you lost this. You can't have it anymore. Remember the old In Vogue song? You're never gonna get it, my lovin'. You're never gonna get it. That's the message a woman wants to send to a man when she breaks up with him and she's still angry. She only dresses the way Harley Quinn did when she's depressed. And even in the film, they make a point to show it in the beginning that Harley's terribly depressed. And that's fine, but you don't leave her that way. Excuse me. You don't leave her that way. You basically just took something that could have at least been okay, and you, in my opinion, you tanked. You intentionally failed, and now you want to blame everything and everyone but yourself and your team. The film didn't do well because you didn't care enough for it to do well, Cathy Yan. You decided to push people away instead of pull people in. And that is why the movie flopped. Same way Charlie's Angels flopped. Instead of leaning in to the over-the-top femininity of the film that Charlie's Angels represents, she decided to make it as macho as she could while still casting women in the roles, and it flopped. And you deserve this flop. You deserve this L. Now, there's two things you can do. You can either keep whining, or you can learn from this, and if you ever get a comic movie property again, maybe you can actually do something good with it, but only if you're willing to learn from your mistakes. and not insult people and not push away the original fans who were here before it became cool to take every damn property and turn it into a movie. Anyway, that's the video. That's the rant. And I will see you all in the next one. My big character study project is almost done. I'm hoping to have that up soon. See y'all around. Be happy, be healthy, be safe. Wash your hands. Be careful out there. Bye.